Joining us right now in a Fox Business exclusive is SAP North America President Jen Morgan. Jen, good to see you.
Thanks, Mary. Great to be here.
Congratulations to you. Was this a surprise to land on Fortune's best place to work list?
You know, you always want to have the greatest place you can attract the best employees. So we are just thrilled this morning, not only to be on the list for the first time, but to be number 59.
So what do you think you've done to make these improvements that landed you on the list?
You know, we work in an industry and technology that's just changing so fast. And in addition to having great technology, you have to work in this competitive environment and be able to attract the best people. And people want a place of purpose. They want to work at a company that has a purpose. They want to have a company that has parity, that has transparency, and also that has authenticity. And that's really important. And when you have that, when you have a great, engaged employee base, then not only do you get great rewards like we got this morning with the Fortune list, but your numbers show it. Our stock has been at near all-time highs. So things are going well.
Jen, I think you're bringing up a good point because people want to be excited at the place they're working at. You guys are doing exciting things like building up your machine learning capabilities. Yes. You're doing integrations with Uber, Facebook. So if I wanted to order some Maui Jim sunglasses, it could be delivered by Uber. But I think a main question that the market's trying to look at is the market's run so far so fast. We've had other CEOs like at Salesforce say it's come too far that it could put a hamper on the M&A environment. We've seen SAP do transactions in the past with Concur, SuccessFactors. Where are you guys at in the M&A cycle? Are you still actively looking at names?
You know, we're always open. For us right now, we're focused on the portfolio we have. We've made several acquisitions, as you know, and have made pretty big investments. And we're continuing to grow those, always looking for tuck-ins. But for us, we're going to really stay focused on the main thing, which is the portfolio that we have right now. And we're excited. I mean, we're seeing customers more and more adopting. They're looking at the enterprise, you know, rather than just looking at one line of business and focusing on solutions to address one part of the enterprise. They know it's got to be connected together if they're going to compete and if they're going to move fast.
So are you seeing increasingly people or companies spend money on this? I mean, it feels like the cloud, everybody needs to be in the cloud, but are they upping their investments in your cloud business?
Yes. So if you look, especially in the United States and across the globe, our cloud business is growing in deep double digits. You know, if you look at small businesses as an example, they're starting in the cloud. It's fast. They can get up and running quickly. They got to get to their consumers quickly, but they also have to have an eye toward growth. They want to go global, and they have to be able to scale. And you never know kind of what's coming from a business perspective. And so the cloud helps them do that quickly, and that's where we're seeing a lot of our growth.
In terms of those smaller and medium-sized businesses, Jen, how much are they going to benefit from the regulatory rollback that we are even already starting to see under the Trump administration and the additional policies, the rollback of Obamacare and even hopefully tax reform later this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a positive sentiment. If you look at the Small Business Optimism Index, you know, I think it's at an all-time high over the last 30 years. So we're seeing those customers. They're 80% of our customers. A lot of people think about SAP as a large enterprise company. 80% of our customers are in small, medium-sized businesses. So we're seeing a lot of activity, and technology is really critical to what they want to do. So we continue to see that growing.
But would it move the needle? I mean, like seeing a 35% tax rate versus a 20% tax rate or a 15% tax rate. Seeing regulations that have been hampering, you know, these companies, and they've been focusing all on compliance and regulation for the last several years. Can you characterize how significant these policies will be for them?
Well, I mean, if you think about money that's going to flow back potentially into our economy, right? I mean, that's huge, and I think that money is going to be put to work, and people are going to put it, you know, what are they going to do? You can do stock buybacks, or you can really think about how am I get to my customer quickly and use technology to do that. So we absolutely think technology will benefit from that. That's where people want to invest. That's where the growth is.
And one of the things is your integrations, as we alluded to earlier. So if I have a small business, I can integrate it with Uber or Facebook. Can you kind of touch base on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw, we announced a pretty big partnership with Google yesterday.
Tell us about that.
So it's exciting. If you think about SAP, right? Enterprises run SAP. 76% of all transactions run or touch an SAP system. That's pretty big. So companies want to get into the enterprise. So if you think about SAP and how we are in most of these enterprises, Google, their cloud, whether you're talking about Google, whether you're talking about Microsoft Azure, this allows us to scale what we're doing, and it allows them to get into the cloud and to get into the enterprise, not just focus on the consumer.
Yeah. Well, you're a global company, though, also. Any worries about what you're hearing in terms of trade, in terms of border taxes coming out of these policies?
it's absolutely something that we're watching. You know, for us, we have a lot of jobs here in the United States. We've got over, you know, around 20,000 people, and we plan to add thousands more jobs. So that's what we're focused on, and this is going to be a big area for us, and we're going to keep an eye on that.
Does it feel better to you right now? I mean, we've been, you know, we've got the jobs number out tomorrow. Do you think things feel better?
I feel good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as you know, Maria, you were at our Investor Day last month. We're excited. We had a great year. We, you know, reaffirmed and even upped some of our guidance for 2020, and we see a great run. As I like to say, I think that we're only at the beginning, you know.
Now, if you look at the world, though, is there one part of the world that you're concerned about? Some people will say Europe.
Europe's been a great part of our business. I mean, for us, we actually thrive in times of change.
And let's not forget, this is a German company, SAP.
Right, and I think getting back to you guys being one of the best places to work, are you finding it hard to find this skilled labor here in the United States? Are you guys looking at the HB1 visa situation? How are you guys looking at hiring, especially on the skilled side?
Yeah, I mean, it is a war for talent in our industry for sure, and talent is big, and you have to have a great place to be able to recruit new employees. But I think you have to also talk about education. If you think about the number of STEM jobs that are going to be needed going forward, there'll be about 1.4 million need of computer science jobs in addition over the next 3 years. And there's only going to be, at the pace we're going, about 400,000 or so people who are going to fill those jobs. We've got to figure out how do we reach down, you know, into the generations and build those skill sets up so we can fill those jobs.
A lot of people want the liberal arts degrees and the cultural whatever degrees, which probably doesn't really help you if you want to work there.
How do you do that, though? I mean, it's a really important point that you make, because CEOs today can't really find the people that have the skill sets, as you mentioned, that can fill the roles. So is the onus on you, is the onus on private business to actually create training seminars and training of this kind of skill set that you're looking for?
Yes, you have to be part of the solution, you know, and it used to be we only talked about the universities and making sure that you're partnering with the universities. We have a great University Alliance program where we do offer curriculums around our technology, where we actually engage employees as interns and do some of that work study. But you even have to look down to high school and figure out how do you make sure that you're getting the right curriculums in place for folks to learn, and how do you make STEM something that's appealing and fun for girls.
Do you ever hire anybody right out of high school, somebody who is super talented in science and technology, that they wouldn't require a college degree?
Maybe internships, but absolutely. Do we have people working for us without college degrees? Absolutely. And you know, we're also excited when you really cast the net wide and you look at different talent pools. We have a program called Autism at Work. 1% of our workforce, we have a goal, will be employed who are employees on the spectrum.
That's great.
It's amazing. And if you think about, you know, that first interview, that might be a little bit tough. But when you look beyond that and you look at the skill sets that they can provide, whether it be around technology, development, support, it really opens your eyes. You cast a wider net and you have a happier company.
I'm glad you started off by talking about the people that landed you on this fortune list of the best places to work. If there was one thing in terms of the culture of the company, what is it? I mean, I know it's about people, but what's so great about the culture?
That's table stakes now. All the fun perks, I think that's table stakes. You know, you have to be in service to your people. I'm a big believer that in leadership, you have to be in service to your people, you have to listen to your people, and you have to give them great opportunities to learn. And you got to let people, you know, you have to give people opportunities, and you have to reach into your organization and allow people to do different things, give them new opportunities, and make it a fun place to work and make it meaningful.